Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk a little more about Pope Francis today and the process. The Camerlengo that we mentioned earlier, the Pope's Chamberlain, um, he would be in charge of this period between popes, between the death of Francis and the election of the next one. It'll take a few weeks to get through all of this, but there is a person in charge, basically like the Pope himself in some ways, just running the day-to-day stuff, organizing the conclave ahead of time. If you saw that conclave movie, the Ray Fiennes character, he supposedly was kind of a combination of the Camerlengo and the dean of the College of Cardinals, which is typically the dean is just the eldest person at the College of Cardinals for elections. And you got to be under 80 now to take part in the election of the next pope. So they kind of rolled both roles into his character. But really, the Camerlengo person is a guy named Kevin Farrell, and he was actually the bishop of the Diocese of Dallas from 2007 to 2016. He was born in Dublin. But he was here. I saw him do some masses. I used to work downtown. We would walk over. I would get some daily masses in every now and then just for fun at noon on a weekday. They were like 30 minutes flat, and it was awesome. But Bishop Farrell would not do those, obviously. But the big Ash Wednesday noon mass downtown, they would usually have a few local news cameras there broadcasting it back in the day, and he would do some of those. Pretty cool that that guy is now running the show for the next couple of weeks here at least. Pope Francis appointed him to this role back in 2019. So Pope Francis, even then, he would have been 6 years into his role, and he was already in poor health really when they elected him the first time around. As we all know, Pope Benedict the 16th was the first one to step down voluntarily in like 600 years or so, and they didn't want. You were coming off the second longest tenured pope ever, with Pope John Paul II behind St. Peter himself. So Benedict wanted to step down, and it just didn't feel like he was up to the day-to-day, I guess. But they brought in Jorge Bergoglio from Argentina, and he was older, and he was not in the best health. I don't think anyone saw him doing this for 12 years, which is how long it turned out. But that's something to consider as you hear names bandied about coming up. Is look at their age. There's a guy from the Philippines who I heard termed kind of a Francis of the Philippines. Dude's only 67 years old. And in this day and age, I think we can rightfully expect popes to live well into their 80s, and maybe 90 or beyond. And I do believe Benedict was the exception, not the rule. Some people wondered if Pope Francis would step down voluntarily, but he seemed to be of the same mind that John Paul II was, which is this is a cross to bear the suffering, to bear it publicly, knowing that people all over the world are suffering, and to say that this is what God has given me, and this is what I will bear, and the deal is for life, and they fulfilled that. That is no knock on Pope Benedict the 16th. Nobody knows his reasons. I'm sure all of the reasons died along with him. I'm sure people knew some of the reasons, but when you see someone who's 67, and you got to figure they're going to live at least into their early, mid, late 80s, do we really want, or does the College of Cardinals really want to elect a pope who's going to be pope for 20 plus years? That's a lot to ask of anyone. Plus, you don't really know what you're getting. We've had some amazing luck, certainly with the last three popes. I wasn't aware of popes before Pope John Paul II came along. But really some amazing luck with these popes over the last 40, 50 years or so. And Pope John Paul II and Benedict XVI were both at the Vatican II proceedings in the 60s in some capacity, and they were helping out with that, and they were influential behind the scenes in that. Pope Francis was not, but he was of that generation. He just wasn't there participating like they were. So are you going to get someone who's going to be Pope for 30 years? I don't think so. That may be why they would look to someone more into their 70s, maybe even their mid-70s. I don't know. We haven't had an Italian Pope in a while now, and there's some strong Italian candidates. I'm not really going to get into speculation at this point, but just wanted to point out that there is a process here, and the guy in charge of everything is a guy appointed by Pope Francis himself, someone who Pope Francis trusted and was probably thinking, this is the guy I want to be in charge when I go, at least until the election starts, and then it would be the Dean of the College of Cardinals, I think, that would preside over those proceedings. But for the next couple of weeks anyway, we will be hearing about Kevin Farrell, Dublin's and Dallas's own, and hoping for the best from him. And that's it for tonight. Hope we'll talk again tomorrow. See y'all. Oh, wait. One more thing. This little guy here, this was from, these are little props here. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's Musei Vaticani. So these were when we went to Rome in 2017, and we went to the Vatican Museum, did the tour, and they had, each pope has his own pectoral cross, but this is the cross, the Good Shepherd there. You might not be able to see it, maybe, I don't know. But that's Pope Francis's cross. We thought that was cool. Always loved Francis, and that's just the Vatican mug there. One little chip out of the bottom here. Also, one of my favorite paintings, the School of Athens, Raphael, I believe. This is in one of the rooms there. This, if you've ever seen that painting before, you probably have. But it's huge. It's like on this huge wall in one of these Vatican office type rooms where they used to sign documents and whatnot. Just a huge fresco there that was kind of overwhelming when you see it in person, how huge it is when you're used to just seeing it on little pictures in books and things like that. So a lot of history there, a lot to get into, and we will do that. All right? Okay, this time for real. We'll talk to y'all later.